Alrighty, I think we are ready to get started. Welcome, everyone, to Combine Demo Day, Season 5, our first virtual demo day. We're incredibly excited to have you all here. And honestly, a little nervous. This is new for us. I thought I would start with a really important public service announcement. This is my mask. I wear it whenever I go out. I strongly encourage, and in fact, within our teams, we have been virtual for now almost 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And you know what? As you'll see in the hour and a half ahead, I think we've done pretty well. With that, I want to just start by telling you a little bit about the Media Lab very briefly. Then we have 2 special guests that I'll introduce, and we will then get into the program. So to begin with, for those of you who don't already know us, we are an extraordinary collection of New York leading institutions in the media technology and publishing space. 22 members strong, it's our biggest year yet, and an extraordinary consortium of university and college partners, including NYU, Columbia, the New School, Pratt, CUNY, SVA, and Manhattan College. And we're supported by 2 extraordinary New York institutions, NYC EDC and the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. And we have 2 guests with us this morning. Very excited to introduce first Ann Del Castillo, who is the Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, and who we invited to say a few words and welcome you all. Ann?
I'm really thrilled to be joining all of you this morning. You know, I think we can all agree, for lack of a better word, this is a remarkable moment in New York City history. And this particular event today is something I think we can all use right now. Entrepreneurship is always a leap of faith. And even though we're all going through tough times right now, it's great to see that everyone is keeping the faith, from the entrepreneurs who are presenting their latest innovations to the investors who are here to be inspired. All of you are keeping the faith in the promise of this city. And on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, I just want to thank you all for being here. I especially want to give thanks to the NYC Media Lab, Steve, Erica, Kate, Romina, and Anna, and all of the mentors who've been working with the teams. And most of all, I want to say congratulations to the teams. I know it wasn't easy to get to today, but you did it. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ann, very much. You know, what you said is really important. I mean, New York is about entrepreneurism. It is about innovation. It is about startups. And as you're going to see in the startups ahead, you know, a bump in the road does not slow us down. With that, I next want to introduce our next guest, Karen Bhatia, who's Senior Vice President for NYC EDC. She is a longtime friend and supporter of the Media Lab. And with that, Karen, welcome.
Thank you, Steve. And first of all, congratulations to the 2020 Combine cohort. As Steve had mentioned earlier on, Commissioner Ann from the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment and the New York City Economic Development Corporation helped seed the New York City Media Lab several years ago, including the now Combine Accelerator. And we did this because, as Ann and as Steve has both mentioned, entrepreneurship and particularly innovation is incredibly important to New Yorkers. As we're seeing in these unprecedented times, this requires collaboration across sectors, across academia, the private sector, as well as government. Innovation also requires us to think about new types of technologies, and it also requires us essentially and most fundamentally to be problem solvers. And that's exactly the skill set that we need right now, as we're seeing as all of our lives have been fundamentally changed with COVID-19. We've seen recently academic institutions such as NYU coming together with the private sector and with New York City government in order to produce face shields, in order to produce personal protective equipment for our healthcare workers and who are at the front lines. So this is how we know, as the city of New York, the importance of innovation, entrepreneurship, and the process that you all just went through. And we know that this year the program has adapted, and that this is our first virtual cohort session and demo day. And we applaud all of you for your agility and congratulate the incredible New York City Media Lab team for rising to this challenge and making today possible. So today, we celebrate with you. We have entrepreneurs from engineering schools, art and design schools, and journalism schools. We have technology applications, including artificial intelligence, virtual reality, as well as solar power, amongst others. We have students here from across New York, from NYU, the New School, the School of Visual Arts, Columbia University, Pratt and CUNY. And this is our 5th cohort of the Combine. And through this process, for the past 5 years, we've supported 47 teams and 152 students and faculty. And since our first Combine graduated in 2016, we have 40% of the companies that are still active. The 16 teams continue to raise funding. They've raised over $6 million. And more importantly, they're raising revenue. They have customers. They've also been accepted into programs like Techstars, Matter, and the National Science Foundation's cohort. And we also know that one of you in our midst today made her TV debut recently and is supported by the likes of Mark Cuban. So we're excited to meet the 2020 cohort and work with you to grow your businesses, your innovations, and to support you in your important place in New York City. So on behalf of EDC and the city as a whole, we congratulate every single one of you, and we look forward to seeing your demos today.
Thank you, Karen. You know, I have to say, you know, it wasn't easy bringing all these people together virtually. We're all in different places and we're all coordinated. And what you're going to see is the result of 12 and a half, almost 13 weeks of extraordinarily hard work, and the support of the city and these two fine institutions is much appreciated. So with that, before we get into the Combine itself, I want to talk about the Media Lab and its mission and just give you guys a little bit of color about how it fits into what we do. So the Media Lab has 3 kind of overarching elements that we're passionate about: connecting, collaborating, and innovating. And those 3 things could not be expressed better than in what you're going to see in the Combine. The Combine is core to our mission, but our mission includes 3 basic pillars. The first is corporate innovation, which is prototyping and applied R&D. And we're working on projects right now with Havas and the New York Times and a number of other organizations. And throughout the year, we will be announcing on our website, which is obviously the nycmedialab.org, what we're working on. We always have openings. We're always looking for students and projects. So please check back with us often or follow us on social media. The second chapter, the second category, is our venture platform, which really is the Combine. It's what you're going to see today. It's startup formation and acceleration. And I will tell you, and we'll talk a little more when Romina joins me in a moment, it is a challenging program. It is not an easy 12-week walk in the park. And then finally, executive education with working groups, events, and publications. And some of those events will be virtual in the next couple of months. And then we expect to be back in the physical world at NYU and various other places. So with that, I wanted to talk specifically about the program and bring on Romina, who is going to talk specifically about the program and its curriculum. Hi, Romina.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So for those who aren't familiar, the Combine is the New York City Media Lab's 12-week early stage university accelerator program. The goal of the Combine is to advance entrepreneurship in emerging technology by taking advantage of our vibrant community and the city's thriving technology ecosystem. Our journey began in the fall, where approximately 50 teams applied, and we selected 7 teams for this year's cohort. We'll meet them shortly. By January, we kicked off and helped them start their entrepreneurial journey by funding them with grants, teaching them the lean startup methodology, and introducing them to mentors who provided insight and advice. Here is a snapshot of the customer discovery and market validation program that we teach. We focus on the business model canvas as a framework for developing minimal viable products, and we encourage them to get out of the building and interview 100 potential customers, partners, and competitors to validate their hypotheses and find evidence that they should start a new venture. The Combine Accelerator culminates with Demo Day, where each team shares what they've learned about the commercial potential of their new venture. So with this, I'm gonna pass it back to Steve, who's gonna share a little bit more about what interesting things the cohort did over the 12 weeks.
So the event, the 12 weeks is a classroom program, but it's really more than that. And I think, you know, at some point our surviving, this is not Survivor. Everyone is coming out the other side with 7 great presentations. But that being said, they will talk about the hard work involved. Here are a number of our presentations with the teams working in classrooms and in presenting the material, both in classrooms and in the field, and an extraordinary group of mentors. Maybe, you know, the thing that I wish I could thank every one of them. This is the 30 participants in the Combine 2020 Mentor Program, each one of them giving time, passion, knowledge, one-on-one mentoring, and turning their pitches into smarter, more perfectly pitched, perfectly tuned stories. So thank you to the mentors. I hope some of you have joined us this morning, and you should be really proud of what your teams have accomplished. We start with a mentor breakfast in which people come and get pastries and pitches. They get to learn about the programs. They get to learn about the individual companies. And one of the things that our mentors will do is help urge the companies to really move their stories forward and tighten them, and in some ways pivot them a little bit. And we'll talk about that. Then in the classroom, there's Romina presenting, and this classroom at 370 J Street which is our new home, the NYU Engineering, Arts, Engineering, and Media Building, MTA, Media, what's that? Right, the MTA building. But then we all moved inside. And, you know, one of the things that happened before we moved the entire presentation inside was, you know, our mentors came and presented, and also alumni. This is important. So for example, here you see Mike Wheeler, who's a longtime Combine mentor, and also Christopher Mitchell, who's a Geopipe. He's a Combine alumni, and he's come through the program, and he now is able to come and share his story with other Combine alumni. And we hope that all of the alumni from today's program will come back and teach as they become more experienced. Then we do an open kind of mentor drinks evening with delicious food, a different environment, but always pitching, always telling the story to our mentors, to our guests, and getting stronger every time. And so these social events are critical to the classroom events. It's all about getting outside. It's about getting out of the building and engaging. And this, not everyone, but this is a group of the startups at our open night, and celebrating the fact that they had yet another great event with us. So when we shifted to virtual, things changed, as I think all of you know. The experience is different, but, and maybe I'll just, you know, I was worried that some of our 7 teams wouldn't make it into the virtual world. It would just be, the world was too confused, there was too much change. I will tell you, they have been incredibly agile. They took the changes like champs, they moved to virtual, and really the program proceeded in the virtual world, different, by the way, than being in the same classroom, but in some ways stronger. And so I appreciate that everybody stuck with us. And so with that, we're off. We're ready to launch. An important point for you, those of you who are watching the live stream, you have a role to play. We're asking you to provide feedback, and we've done this now enough times that we know that if you do it in real time, you're going to be much more effective than if you try and remember 7 programs and 7 different companies. So you've all been given a link, and I think we sent it this morning, and we'll put it in the chat. Again, 3 basic areas of feedback for each company. The first, we ask you to give the company a number from 1 to 10. 10 is awesome, off the charts. 1 is not quite there yet. You feel free to judge them somewhere on 1 to 10. And don't be overly generous, be honest. We want the feedback. 2 is a simple thumbs up or thumbs down, go or no go. Are these companies ready to go out into the real world, or are they not ready to pursue a startup? And that can be a little binary, but we'd like your opinion. And then last but not least, written comments. And this is really the most important. things that you love, things that are interesting to you, places where you think they could do better. And if you're a potential angel investor, startup investor, early stage investor, or a partner or a mentor, and think that there's an outreach where you'd like to meet the company, please say in the comments what you think you can provide these companies, and we will make the connection. So with that, we are ready to present our first company. So, Romina, take it away.
Terrific, thank you. I'm pleased to introduce our first pitch. It's Team Phobia, a little bit about the founders. So the co-founders, Sharat and Patrick, met on the crew team as undergraduates at the University of Rochester, and they founded Fractal Media, a creative video agency. Today, they're so fascinated by eye tracking technology, so much so that Sharat is pursuing his PhD in biomedical engineering with a concentration in eye tracking at Columbia University. Meet Phobia.
So, like Romina mentioned, my name is Sharat Kurathoda. I'm with Patrick Edelman, who's my co-founder. And we want to talk to you today about how we're fixing training in the workplace. And I can start by kind of sharing a bit of background. So my last job was in clinical research, and I kept hearing about a lot of advancements in the fields like artificial intelligence, the latest software for us to try. So I would go out and I would, on my own time, learn these new tools. But the challenge was that it didn't really translate to my manager just how much I was learning and how valuable my professional development really was. And this isn't a unique problem, right? So 94% of employees would actually stay at a company longer if the company prioritizes their development. And since I've left the job, I've learned that this problem wasn't really my boss's fault. It's just difficult to value online training the way that it is currently. And to monitor training across thousands of employees and ensuring that it's as effective as learning in person, that's a real big challenge. And actually, a lack of career advancement is cited by millennials as the top reason why they've left the job. And employees are expensive to replace. So this is a problem that's worth addressing. Our solution to these problems can improve training in the workplace, and we can keep employee retention and engagement high so that employers can see tangible results from employees who are educated. And that's Phobia, which is the web platform for human resources, onboarding, training, and continued education. We heard a great quote from a customer of ours that nobody is satisfied with mandatory e-learning the way that it is currently, and maybe you can relate, neither the employer nor the employee. From the employer side, we're addressing how we can verify that an employee actually took courses and training modules. And in the present day, that's done in very unique ways. So some businesses have internal documents, some businesses just share YouTube links as a part of training. And most of the cases, employees seek out their own courses for professional development. So we wanted to kind of address this need in an inexpensive, but also effective and modular way. And on the employee side, they want to convey that what they're learning is actually useful in the workplace and valuable, and that they actually did the work. And part of the issue they face now, though, is that video, which is a primary mode for training online, is really fixed. So compared to in-person training, video can't really adapt to whether you're paying attention, can't help you retain information as well. So using Phobia, we can search through and aggregate training that's found online and training modules that are put together by an HR manager or your direct supervisor. And we can certify using what we term Seen Cert, that an employee actually saw videos and documents related to their training. And this makes online training more valuable. And we prioritize video in the training process. So we dynamically change video, whether you're paying attention, and we design assessments for employees dependent on where an employee is looking. So I can walk through a quick demonstration of our platform. So first, let's say that an employee is undergoing yearly safety training put together by their HR manager. And this is just done with a video that's embedded from YouTube in this case. So we briefly ask the employee to consent to a screenshot of their face for verification. And we capture where they're looking on the screen, which is a red dot you're about to see. This is a privacy conscious system. And in this way, we can verify that the same person viewed the material. And in this case, they didn't, so they didn't get our certificate. But when they view the full video, they get a Seen Cert. It's really simple. And our technology is unique in that we're using eye tracking to dynamically present content. So if an employee didn't view a safety sign, we can play that portion of the video back automatically, and we can design assessments based on what portions of the video they viewed and what was most important for their learning. And I can let Patrick next kind of talk a little bit about the technology.
Right, so I'll explain a little bit of what underlies Fovea. So our platform stores videos and documents in the cloud and can also aggregate from around the web and uses state-of-the-art machine learning tools to process the eye tracking data. So this is all hosted in the cloud, and our service is delivered directly to a user's laptop. So there's no special software or hardware needed. They just need a standard laptop and a web browser, and we do real-time eye tracking from the built-in webcam. And of course, the whole system is patent pending. Here's how we're going to make money. We're going to use a tiered subscription-based model where we charge by the number of seats that each company purchases. Additional services can be purchased a la carte, and for large enterprise customers, we'll be offering custom pricing solutions and also custom build-outs of our software. The market opportunity here is very large. Our total addressable market across online education and advertising is over 200 million customers, representing a market of over $16 billion. Our total serviceable market of around 10,000 medium and large size companies is about a $6 billion industry, and our immediate obtainable market of around 1,000 companies is a $500 million industry. So what is it that makes us different? We have years of experience running an advertising agency here in the city, producing video that has garnered millions of views online across a variety of industries. In addition to our client work, we've also worked with online education firms and creating educational content. We also have technical experience in building production-ready video software with applied deep learning experience specifically in eye tracking. We do have competitors, of course, and on the technical side, on the eye tracking side, we have companies like Tobii and iMotions, and on the learning management side, for HR training, we have companies like SAP Litmos and Panapto, and we lie right at the intersection of these two industries in a position that neither competitor fully meets. So we have both the technical experience to build an eye tracking product and the creative experience to match it with video content needs. We are the only company that takes eye tracking from a niche research method and turns it into a creative video production real-time tool. So here's Fovea's roadmap. So far, we've done over 100 customer interviews and have a prototype of our product built out. In the summer of 2020, we'll be piloting with our first customers in the HR space. And throughout the fall, we'll be seeking further funding from a variety of outlets, including government grants and venture capital. And as we head into 2021, we'll be further developing our product. And what's a great product without a great team? So we've been working together for over 5 years, and we bring a depth of experience in both the creative and technical side to bring eye tracking to the forefront of HR training. Our next 2 steps are looking to increase our pilot pipeline. Any company that has an HR department that is not satisfied with their current learning management solution, so we'd love to talk to them. And we're also going to be seeking seed funding to get us to the fall for our next funding round. Thank you for your time today. We know this is a little unorthodox, but we're very grateful that you came in, and you can check us out online at foveainsights.com.
All right, our next team to pitch is Lost Bites, a sustainable waste tech startup company. Lost Bites team is led by Denise Vumars. Denise is pursuing her PhD in chemical and biomolecular engineering at NYU's Tandon School of Engineering. Denise is building Lost Bites to meet a critical need. Welcome, Denise. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. I'm Denise, founder of Lost Bites, and I'm going to tell you a story. As you know, there is no doubt we are suffering from COVID-19 pandemic, and we have nowhere to go, and we stuck home cooking a lot. So this is my story about food waste in a week. I feel terrified that I consume that amount of food waste every day and tossing them away in my regular garbage. And it's kind of shameful for me because I care about the environment and I have nothing to do with that. So these are basically the garbage that is going to be really bad because of the freshness. And they are really taken care of like in a bad situation. So what are the statistics here? So that's the rice that I'm tossing away in my apartment. Sorry. So the statistics actually very scary. 40% of food waste are thrown away per year in the US, and it costs us $162 billion. It's enough to feed 3 billion people. That's very scary. Luckily, we have actually converted food waste into energy with a 100%. Will you believe that? Well, it's not true. It all goes to landfills and creates global warming and methane gas. So methane gas is actually much more harmful gas than the carbon dioxide. It's 21 times higher than carbon dioxide that creates pollution in the environment. So what are the actual numbers? 7% of food waste goes to energy conversion, and then 24% of them goes to recycling and composting. And most of them, like 69%, goes to landfills and creates pollution in the environment. So there is no energy conversion. What's the problem? Why cannot solve this? So there is no clean food waste collection system. I have been recently in Amazon and Google. These are their garbage bins, like the composting bins, particularly collects organic waste. But as you see inside, there are different types of garbage, like basically trash, nothing organic waste. So as you know, the most intelligent people working in the Amazon and they don't even care or they don't know how to recycle. So how we can actually solve this problem? We can create automated recycling system defined by AI that recognizes the waste type and separates the waste. So the second problem is there is no transparent and affordable organic waste recycling system. So we can customize biodigester machine on site to process food waste daily and produce organic fertilizer. So why are the current solutions not enough? There are two possible solutions, which are composting and anaerobic digester plant. They are time-consuming, requires large spaces, and creates greenhouse gases for somehow. Our solution with Lost Bias to install biodigester machine on site and integrate the software and sell organic fertilizer on the food waste process. So our secret sauce is actually integrating software to provide data-driven system. So people actually know the quality and quantity of the fertilizer, basically driven by data of food waste. So why the organic fertilizer is important, right? So we are what we eat. This is a life cycle. And the fertilizer is the nutrition-rich soil that feeds the plants. So plant it has to create like a high nutrition to feed our bodies too. And another benefit of the organic fertilizer is odor absorber and carbon stabilizer to prevent the environment. We actually did 100 interviews with the customers through the Combine program, and we found that 30% of businesses regularly track their food waste, 15% of them donate leftover food to food banks, which is good. 48% of collect food waste, but no recycles. And only 7% of them compost food waste only, which is very low numbers. Where are we? We actually have working prototype, which is powered by Raspberry Pi and different type of biosensor that tracks data. And our capacity is 12 pounds of food waste daily to produce 12 pounds organic fertilizer. We are currently, not currently, but we are going to implement the pilot project at NYU School of Engineering this summer to collect data and produce fertilizer. What are the energy impacts? So if you eat the apple, you're actually having like 100% energy efficiency. Lost Bias comes after that. We are creating 60% of energy available. And compost and anaerobic digestion, as you see, is very low. Landfill basically creates pollution, nothing as benefit. So Lost Bias has 3 times the energy of compost with 50% less emission. Our market expansion is growing with the good numbers, which is 13% by 2025. And we are account for 66% of the fertilizer market in North America and only 5 major players. The organic fertilizer market in North America is quite big, which are $5 billion, and the share of market for Lost Bias is $0.9 billion. So go-to-market strategy, which is for hotel, schools, commercial kitchens for biodigesters, and we are having annual subscription model. And for organic fertilizer, we are focusing on organic farming, wholesalers, distributors like Home Depot to sell our fertilizer for $20 per gallon. Total potential customer in the United States are $6,000 for biodigester. And then we can have a 25% acquisition for low spice customer and have the annual projected net revenue is $30 million for biodigester only. And for the fertilizer, we can create 8 million gallons of organic fertilizer per year, and it results in $163 million net revenue. So these are the team members, and actually we have amazing advisors who help us during the journey. Tiffany, Sergi, George, and Shirikar is one of the developers in the company who is helping me to implement the AI system. So why Lost Bites? So we do food waste reduction on site. We are data-driven. We have sustainable product, and we have full transparency in our company. But we look for Lost Bites, we look for B2B partners, hotels, schools, waste management companies, and investors for crowdfunding for seed funds. So I and Lost Bites choose the left side. Which side will you choose? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Denise. We admire what you're doing to tackle food waste. Okay, so next up is Candid. If you're looking for love, you can't wait to hear how this team is disrupting the online dating world using emerging tech. Here to present Candid is founder Amog. Meet Candid.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in for the presentation. My name is Amog Mishra and I am founder and CEO of Candid, a smart online dating app powered by Wingbot, your virtual wing person. This is a story of Ted and Emily. Both have opted to use online dating apps to find potential partners while they are busy in their professional life, only to be met with disappointment. Why? Because the contemporary dating apps provide too many options, which confuses them. Their compatible match is sandwiched between the other incompatible matches, only leading to a waste of time and degraded user engagement. Due to lack of long engagements and excessive options, Ted was always under tremendous pressure to put out an impressive ice-breaking message. And with so much going on in his professional life, he always failed to deliver. Thirdly, there's no incentive of being authentic on an online dating platform. And with apps providing little insights about their partners, Ted and Emily were forced to believe on their partners on face value. Hence, their paths never meet until they used Candid. Candid is building cutting-edge AI to build your date buddy called Wingbot, which helps both of them to find highly curated profiles, which increases their engagement time. With higher engagement time upon being matched, the Wingbot gamifies the conversation, which helps them in trying to retain their originality rather than focusing on being someone they are not. Thirdly, the Wingbot provides access to user taste profile. For example, what the partner likes, dislike, what they really like to talk about, or even red flagging suspicious activities profile. What is our secret sauce behind this? So we use knowledge graph technologies, which is being used by big companies like Google, Facebook, which helps us in contextualizing data in a graph. And that helps us in providing superior performance in personalization, gamification, and protection against unwanted profiles. Here is a sneak peek of our product. Here, Emily is a Columbia Law student, and she likes music, art, and politics. In the bio, she talks about Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. Ted, being a book buff in himself, gets matched with Emily. And the Wingbot triggers a question: who's your favorite book character? Now, this is not how the conversation would have gone if they were matched on other dating apps. So instead of talking about, hey, how was your day? What's up? Their conversation starts on their book characters. And the conversation keeps on going. Hence, the parts of Ted and Emily, which were drifted away when they were using other dating apps, are now be brought closer because of Candid. This can be used with our business model, which stands on two pillars. One is the basic version, which is free, which gives access to unlimited profiles, matching with them and conversation, but you do not get a Wingbot with it. For Wingbot, there's a premium version, which is standing at $599, where you get all the features of the basic version, but along with that, you have the Wingbot facilities of curation, gamification, and access to user insights. We look at the market size between the people which fall in the gender gap of 18 and 34, and which is around 76 million people, putting our addressable market at 5.5 billion, with the focus on total undergraduates in colleges and universities, which is close to 22 million. Our served available market is 1.57 billion, with the intention of acquiring 5% of the students in New York and California. Our serviceable optimal market is at 3.1 million. With lucrative business opportunities, there comes competitors, and we have few of them. Starting with Tinder and Bumble, which are easy to set up, but they provide shallow user insights. On the other hand, we have OkCupid and Match, which provide higher user insights but are tedious to set up. There are some startups who have tried to bridge this gap by providing easy setup and deep user insights, such as Hinge and Coffee Meets Bagel, but Candid sits right on top of the quadrant, providing easier setup and highest user insights. For lucrative business and solving a competitive space, you need strong team, and we are fortunate to have that. Starting with me, I look over the AI and the business component, and I'm a grad student at Columbia studying data science. Followed by Prashant Garmila, who is a student at NYU, and he looks over the client at the backend side of the platform. We're really fortunate to have Pushkar Srivastav as our strategic advisor. He is founder and CEO of Get Me a Shop, and he is also an entrepreneur, which gives us a lot of benefit from his experience. Finally, we have Giri Bhatnagar, who is a technical consultant here at Candid, and he's a software engineer at Microsoft, helping us build a scalable, seamless platform. How our market timeline looks like: the summer would be used for building the product and AI research. We will be deploying that product in the 2 campuses, Columbia and NYU, where we will be measuring customers' feedback on when the fall semester starts. From the customer feedback, we will be using it to put it back into the development of a better product. Candid's mission is to bring back lost trust in online dating, and it is incomplete without the help of you. Therefore, we are seeking $1 million seed funds for AI development, research, product development, and marketing. We would really appreciate introductions to mentors and matchmakers for potential partnership. By the way, Ted and Emily, they continued using Candid and are together, just like many others. Please visit datecandid.com for more information, or contact amog.mishra@columbia.edu. Stay safe, wash your hands, and thank you for your time.
Our next team to pitch is PressDB. PressDB automates idea discovery and the organization of writing through user-centric design and AI. The team includes co-founder Hen Lee and Chris Rusnak. Both are graduates from Columbia University and members of the as well as members from the New School, City University of New York. And this team wants to streamline the writing process and make it easier too. Meet Hen and PressDB. Hen, take it away.
Thank you, Steve. Hi, everyone. My name is Han. I'm the co-founder of PressDB. We're here to empower you with a streamlined and fun way to better ideas for writing. How many of you have found yourself in a situation where you're about to write, but you just felt time pressured, distracted, and uninspired? Just know that you are not alone. From our user writing workshops, we find out that the top writing struggle the people encounter are: how do I start? How to organize thoughts? How do I deal with distractions, procrastinations, information overload, and just writer's block in general? We wondered, can the writing experience be more streamlined? Can we feel more engaged and inspired in the writing process? Therefore, we come together and designed a framework for idea discovery and organization, inspired by Lego. Just like Lego, we want to help you turn the scattered pieces of thoughts and information and use them as the building blocks to construct the masterpiece that you are capable of. Here's how it looks like. After you log in, you tell us the keyword around your topic of writing. And then you tell us the type of writing you're doing. And how many words is your writing piece? And what is your target readability, which is who are you writing for? What's your goal? After that, we spit out information based on your keyword input. And from there, you can explore the different news information, just general knowledge about your keyword of interest. From there, you can click on the article of interest and explore, read, make highlights, take notes, annotations, and go back and explore iteratively. What we're doing is really to make this experience streamlined and make the discovery experience more interactive and engaging. We're gearing towards our product towards a niche market right now, which is graduate students who are studying professional communications, who have the mental openness and the flexibility to adopt a new way of writing and idea generation. However, this service could be extended to the current existing users of writing softwares out there, and eventually want to help everyone who writes on the internet. In terms of the competitive landscape, viewing through the lens of the composing process, there's a variety of tools out there people use to help them write. People use Google, Reddit, go to library and read newspaper to help them gather knowledges around topic and audience. People use tools like Grammarly, ProWriting to help them with the actual writing when it comes to word, sentence, grammar, and help them in the later stage of reviewing and to do proofreading and editing. However, there isn't a tool that addresses the need in the planning stage, and that's where PressDB sets in. We're here to help you generate and organize your thoughts and ideas and help you set goals. Our business model is a web-based platform with direct sales to customers for a monthly subscription fee of $25 a month. We offer 2 tiers of subscription. The freemium model offers basic curated idea discovery, and the paid subscription offers a personalized idea discovery plus idea organization. We will reach customers through universities, conferences, as well virtual platform like social media and Google Ads. We'll keep our customer and build our communities through writing themed webinars and workshops, as well as ongoing newsletters, blogs, etc. Our financial projection is that we will have an annual cost of around $525K, and we will achieve a revenue of annually of 9 million when we acquire 1% of our target users within 1 year after launch. Looking back, we have come a long journey from the summer when we complete Y Combinator online startup school, and then later we exhibit our prototype at NYC Media Lab annual summit. Till later, we organized a writing workshop to study and learn what the writing struggles are facing people. And later we joined Columbia Startup Lab, and now we are at NYC Media Lab Combined Accelerator. We have conducted 150 customer discovery interviews, plus 20 surveys, 4 workshops, 3 demos, and 1 product jam. We've learned a lot. We have a great team where I'm the co-founder. I'm in charge of the product, vision, and strategy. And I came up with the idea based on my own struggle with writing. And I really hope that, that the way we are approaching this problem would benefit everyone. And Chris is in charge of the technology development and data science. Here leads UX research and design. Priya leads AI research and development. Looking forward, in 3 months, we plan to launch our full MVP and start user testing. In 6 months, we'll have fundraising with angel investors. And in 9 months, we'll expand our team and improve our product iteratively. Right now, we're seeking funding of $500K to really excel our growth. We're also looking for partners and mentors. Right now, we're in a special time with the coronavirus pandemic that we are spending a lot of time with ourselves while we are socially isolating from others. I think it's a great time to write. Either be your long due blog post or your unfinished book writing project. It's the best time to start. Start now. And if you need help with idea generation and organization, feel free to go to bit.ly/PressDB. We're here to help you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Hen Hen. Okay, well, we're more than halfway through our pitches. And next up is LifeProof founder, Brendan Weaver. Brendan has recently participated in the NYU EdTech and Aging Incubators programs, respectively. He's a former professional athlete in weight-controlled sports, and he's passionate about leveraging computer vision to help improve seniors' health. Meet LifeProof.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brendan Weaver, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that's truly revolutionary. It will change the way we age. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you how I went from the guy you see on the screen beneath me to the executive that's standing before you today. So back then, they used to call me the Grim. I was Brendan the Grim Weaver, and I got to fight all over the world. And throughout my journey, I got to learn from the best in the world in strength and conditioning, sports performance, nutrition, and health and wellness. Throughout my journey, I started to see significant changes in my lifestyle and in my body, and I wanted to share that with my family. So when my mother was in her mid-50s, I started to provide some of these trainings and principles to her. Fast forward 15 years later, and she started to enter obstacle races. It was really something fun we did together for a long time. Now she's in her early 70s and in some of the best health of her life. And given the current COVID-19 situation, I couldn't be more thrilled that she proactively took that approach to her health and wellness. So combining my background, the inspiration of my mother, and some trends in the market that are combining hardware, software, and artificial intelligence, I give you life proof. That's live young forever. And I say immortality would be a curse without the fountain of youth. So the problem, as I see it, is that there are inadequate wellness services within senior communities that increase the dependence on a very costly care model by creating a greater risk of physical and mental health issues. Combine that with an exploding demographic of people over 65, not just domestically, but also internationally, leads to a large economic burden on our healthcare system. And again, we are currently learning the problem with straining our healthcare system. So the solution that we're providing is a groundbreaking digital platform that enables groups and individuals with artificial movement assessment, providing them content to match their needs and producing clinical data, and also acting as an early intervention model. I give you life proof. We can take any television set around the country or around the world and turn it into this system. And we do that with a camera unit, a dongle or a micro PC that plugs right into your HDMI port. And then we can see here the artificial intelligence assessing a group of people moving. Our MVP, or minimal viable product, is a business-to-business solution where we sell directly to independent and assisted living communities working with their program and activity directors. Our market size, so we are working with the 90,000 independent and assisted living communities that house 5 million people in the United States. That's our initial TAM. We want to work with the highest functioning individual in the senior care space to ward off future problems. Our expanded vision includes live streaming capabilities and is a business to governmental application. So consider the current situation in the world where our senior population is isolated and our therapists can't reach them. This would allow those two to meet digitally. Our beta results, when we've run beta groups, have been really powerful. And the key takeaways are we're providing a physical, social benefit that includes inclusive of all the members in the community that's specialized to meet their needs and self-sustaining, where the resident director can run this program themselves. We're finding that improved tissue viability reduces comorbidity. And we're going to continue to gather data around that thesis. We're finding that greater independence helps reduce fragility. And increasing and enhancing ranges of motion requires less assistance. As an example, if somebody can touch their toes, they'd be able to tie their shoes, and they don't need assistance from the surrounding community. 100% of the time when we've run these beta groups, they've all turned into paid consulting opportunities, which tells you there's a need. The beta engagement has been really astounding. When somebody's come in to one of our classes, they've come back 94% of the time. And by the end of our 8-week sessions, we have routinely engaged between 65 and 70% of the entire community come to us on a weekly basis. Our traction and customer discovery were pushed to the limits in the Media Lab. I myself have talked to over 100 activity and recreation directors. And I will tell you that they provide a specialized service, so we need to provide them a specialized service. We need to give them something that's turnkey, price conscious, and inclusive of everyone in their community while being specialized enough to meet individual needs. When we've put up banner ads and run promotions, we've had over 1,300 director signups in just about a 5-week period. We've had over 500 YouTube subscribers with only 7 pieces of content. And when we've reached out to these communities on cold email campaigns, we've had almost a 38% response rate. When we differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, we're going to do this by being highly digitized and highly specialized. We're going to offer computer vision, strong intellectual property, and specialized design work. Our computer vision is world-class. Our specialized design is being assisted by the Ability Labs at NYU. And our segmentation of the senior population gives us our methodology and our true age programming. I say, not every 75-year-old is created equal. Our revenue is coming from selling directly to these communities. It's a business-to-business sales model. And the number on the screen that's most important is the one all the way at the bottom. That's our lifetime value to cost of acquisition. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. That means for every dollar we spend, we look to get 3 back. And that's assuming that our blended monthly recurring revenue is only $115 per subscription. Our team is world-class. I have over 25 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. I've done everything. I've built gyms, I've worked for financial institutions, built digital platforms, you name it, I've done it. And I'm going to quote the great Wayne Gretzky when I say I'm not skating to where the puck is, I'm skating to where the puck's going. Jillian has over 17 years in behavioral health and works with governments all over the world helping solve their crises, their health crises. Our tech partner is world-class in computer vision and IoT, and our CTO has a big background in data architecture, working with companies like Facebook and Netflix. Our advisors are eclectic, but fantastic. We have everyone from people in the senior care space to people in finance. We have artificial intelligence specialists and doctors, everything in between. Everyone we need to support us to get to the market. We're looking for a capital raise of $750,000, partially to develop some of the technology, but also to market and sell it. Thank you guys for the time. Have a great day. You can reach me at brendan@lifeproof.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. Terrific presentation. And by the way, I just want to take a second to reiterate something he said that's very important. He did 100+ interviews. These are cold calls. These are reaching out to organizations, sometimes in very challenging situations over the last couple of weeks, and getting them to talk to you about your product and about their needs. And that is key to the Combine methodology and the Lean Startup methodology. Okay, up next, our next team began their program in New York, but is now joining us from Taiwan. Since schools are teaching classes virtually, this team traveled back to finish the spring semester. All equally passionate about storytelling in VR, the team is led by Adam Chen and includes Stella Tao, Jade Lin, and Sung Chen Yang. Adam attends the School of Visual Arts, Stella teaches at Pratt University, and Jade attends the NYU School of Engineering. Meet Jade, who is presenting for AI and VR Immersive Theater. Jade?
Thank you, Steve, for the intro. So here we go. Hi, I'm Jade, and I'm representing Team AI and VR today. So our idea really started out with the 4 of us on our team, all being enthusiastic VR players ourselves. While our team has much experiences in creating content on our own in the past, we come across the problem that when we want to be introduced to more content experiences online, there isn't really a lot of resources out there. On Netflix VR app, users literally sit on the couch still watching Netflix own 2D content. And on Steam VR, there is indeed a more variety of available content, but due to the fact that they provide individual creators equal opportunities to upload projects, there's more of a lack of consistency in the quality of the abundance of content that can be found on the platform. On YouTube, there is a plethora of 360 degrees videos, but they remind me of the films first made in the cinema attraction phase in early years of cinematic development, wherein users come for one-time experiences, but the attraction quickly wears off without incentives or newer sensations for them to return. Hence, we conclude concluded with the three following problem statements that we think the current industry is facing in reaching a wider audience. First, that there is a lack of a well-packaged commercial VR platform. Second, there is a lack of a unified creative effort in content development and experimentation. And third, there's a lack of general accessibility and awareness. And in response to these issues, we came up with the idea to build an online subscription-based platform for our new generation, like Netflix, but for virtual reality. One of the main goals I would like to really emphasize today would be our wish and passion to curate quality content with a focus on culture and arts. Other value propositions include promoting better accessibility, raise awareness and eliminate resistance, and also to employ backstage algorithms to better study our customer interest. Really like to focus on at this early stage would be those who already has experiences or exposure in VR, but who would also be interested in looking towards exploring more available content. With phase one, reaching around 50 to 60,000 customers, we are best able to contact due to their experience at the location-based VR we have produced in the past. And with phase two, reaching around 2.8 million customers among those who already own VR headsets. And with phase three, reaching up to 22 million general audience who have prior exposure to VR at least once per month. So as I've mentioned, one of our main goals would be to curate a variety of quality content for our customers. And we would like to do so by firstly producing original content with our own team, acquiring existing content from content creator, for example, through festival and exhibition circulations. And thirdly, to license new content by collaborating with filmmakers and artists. And these are some of the content our team has developed in the past, available for upload with the launching of our platform, with a large variety of genres and style representative of our dedication in storytelling experimentations. And this is a short clip which show you some of the visuals we are able to achieve in the past. They are from two projects called To the Moon and Chalk Room, and both are integrations of themes in art and technology. So especially considering that we are in this time of pandemic, having to stay at home for long periods of time while switching to an increasing focus on virtual social interactions. We would also like to particularly emphasize on the growing demands for VR at homes that our platform would enable, drawing attention to some of the additional features that we would possibly like to be offering, including from social support to safety, psychological and healing, physical fitness, and also intellect technology. Now I would like to go over briefly. So our plan is divided into either 6-month or 1-year subscription model with the additional choice of hardware rental. Currently, we have talked to HTC and Oculus to negotiate hardware sponsorship possibilities at the price of either $6 or $30 per month, and also offering trade-in options for newer versions that will continue to be released in the future, so as to ensure that our customers would be able to have the newest, most updated headsets at all times. We are also continuing our discussions with Microsoft and Acer, for instance, in terms of possible sponsorships of HoloLens and Star VR. And this is how our platform will look like. We are dedicated to make it easily accessible in terms of navigation. We will also include algorithms to better research our customer interest, as well as to provide them with a personalized interface. So our next steps include mainly demoing our prototype and fundraising within 3 months, and conducting platform development, content licensing, and acquiring negotiations, and also promotion within 6 months, and also to continue our product testing and starting our original content pre-production planning within 9 months. And for now, we are trying to seek fundings from our investors, calling on programmers and content creators and other talents to join the team, as well as to invite content licensing collaboration opportunities. So coming together from sectors of computer arts and media studies, our team include Adam Chain, Stella Cao, Jade Lian, myself, and Sunshine Gang. We are also fortunate to receive advisories from new media artists, Ms. Lori Anderson and Mr. Xingjian Huang, who both had experiences in navigating front-end VR content creation and experimentations over recent years. So thank you, that is all for today, and looking forward to hearing back from you guys.
Thank you, Jade. Your team is doing really impressive work in VR. Okay, so our final pitch is Group Hug Solar. Founder Crystal is also an adjunct professor at Parsons and School of Visual Arts. She's passionate about sustainability and building products at the intersection of art, technology, and education. And a fun fact, she loves donuts. Meet Group Hug Solar.
Hi, everyone. Excited to share what I'm working on. So my name is Crystal, and I'm the founder and CEO of Group Hug Solar. And at Group Hug Solar, we make ridiculously good-looking solar panels. I'm going to show you an example. This is Solar Cat, a cat-shaped solar panel that's installed in the New York Hall of Science in Queens. It's the world's first cat-shaped solar panel, and it powers lighting and a phone charging station inside of the museum. And I'll tell you a story of how I got here. So I've actually spent the last 7 years as a toy designer. I designed educational toys at a tech startup called Little Bits. I did licensing deals with Lucasfilm and Marvel. That's a DIY R2-D2 kit that you can see right here. So you might be wondering, how did I go from designing R2-D2s to becoming a solar panel designer? So it actually all started with a frustration. I've always considered myself very sustainable and an environmental activist, and I wanted to do something to go solar. And when I started doing some research, I realized that the look and shape and design of solar panels hasn't actually changed in over 50 years. So this is actually a picture of the first commercial solar panel ever made by Bell Labs in 1954. And when I saw it, I kind of laughed because you see rectangles slapped on poles and roofs today. So what's really changed? And there's so much more that can happen. So we believe at Group Hug Solar that the future of energy needs creativity and not just utility. So being a designer and a maker myself, I started to tinker around and figure out how solar panels are made, and I started to make my own. And I think the biggest aha moment I had was that solar panels don't have to be rectangles. They can really be very creative in different shapes and sizes and even colors. I actually came into the Combine program with an existing consumer product that I launched called the Window Solar Charger. It's geared towards apartment dwellers, and it allows you to hang a solar panel in your window to charge up a power bank and rechargeable battery built into the bamboo frame so that you can charge any USB device off the grid. And it's meant to be someone's first step into solar energy. But when I started to look at the big landscape of solar and the impact that it could have, I realized that what I was doing was teeny, teeny, tiny in comparison to what could actually happen. And harvesting solar from your window is great, but how can I tap into something bigger? So looking at the landscape of solar just in the United States, the market for solar is over $20 billion. And the interesting part is that over half of that is for commercial applications. And that was kind of my second aha moment discovering in the program. And the top 4 customers for commercial solar are actually the top 4 consumer brands in the world. So Apple, Amazon, Target, and Walmart are all taking massive steps to get their operations and stores using only renewable energy. And it's no surprise because there's new consumer reports that are saying more people are willing to spend more money on companies that are legitimately doing sustainable activities. So here's a quote from a recent Nielsen report. Regardless of product category, brands with legitimate sustainability claims do better. So I'm sure many of you shop at Target and you might have never known that, because if you look at the array of a Target store, solar panels are not actually visible to customers, and the public generally can't see them because they're on the roof, and then they can't actually see the impact that they're having. So when you walk into a store, you're seeing the regular view, but you can't tell what's happening unless you have an aerial view. And the same issue is happening to many other categories. So schools are a growing category in solar, where over 5% of all K through 12 schools are adopting solar panels on their roof. But when you actually just walk in the door, you might never know. So at Group Hug Solar, we make custom shaped solar panels to help companies show their sustainable values in style. What we actually produce are solar panel charging stations like SolarCat that you saw. We're working on developing stock shapes like apples for schools, suns for other stores and retail stores. And these can either hang in their window, they can go in their lobby, in their courtyard, and it's really part tech, part art installation, and pairing it to show people that solar can be really cool, really great looking, and have a big impact. We're also developing custom shapes. So if your company would like a solar panel in the shape of its logo, there's some examples here, we can also do that. So how do we actually sell in? Right now, we're packaging our products in with rooftop solar. So we have a network of solar installers that we're currently talking to, so that if a customer or a commercial client wants to buy a rooftop installation, they can actually buy a custom visible public solar charging station as an add-on to that. And what that looks like is that we're selling to solar installers on a wholesale basis, and we can also sell directly to commercial clients like schools, corporations, and things like that. In terms of pricing and how we make money, we can sell these solar charging stations directly to the end user for $5,000. This is a B2B, business to business company. And we can also strike wholesale deals with solar installers so that they can sell stock shapes as a differentiator for them. We have 2 pilots right now in New York. So we have SolarCat that's up and running. We're currently developing Solar Heart. It's for a retail store and yoga studio in New York. And one of the best pieces of feedback that I've gotten about SolarCat and seen is that it's highly visible, highly Instagrammable, and also functional. So SolarCat is one of the most photographed exhibits at the New York Hall of Science right now. And we think that's something that will be very appealing to our future customers. Couldn't do this without an amazing team. So I'm the founder. I have a background in product design and consumer electronics. We also have a marketing advisor, a great electrical engineer, and a manufacturing and supply chain expert. So everything from designing it to shipping it, we have that all covered. And wait, there's a little bit more. So I was fortunate enough to be recently on ABC's Shark Tank, where I pitched my consumer window solar charger and also the bigger dream of making these big designer solar installations. After a very dramatic episode, I was able to land a deal with Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban is our first seed investor and is helping us grow and bring this vision to life. Our plans in the immediate future are to secure more pilot partners so we can create more shapes, get them into these businesses and really iterate and see how they're working. And then once we have that down, we're going to be scaling partnerships in our supply chain so we can have more shapes in stock. We're growing and we definitely need help. We're looking for more B2B partners, so schools, parks, corporations that would like a visible solar panel to display and charge some of their functions. We'd love to talk to you. And we're also looking for investors and are looking to fundraise more in the fall of this year. And if there's one note that I leave off with you guys, it's that the future of energy really needs more creativity. And I think this type of creative mashup of art and technology will really change the way people think about energy. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out. My email's right there and our website is grouphugtech.com.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Fantastic presentation and a great 7 companies, huge, extraordinary cohort. Congratulations to PressDB, LifeProof, Candid, Lost Bytes, Fovea, Group Hug, and AI VR Immersive Theater. It really inspirational in these challenging times to see the energy and hard work of these young startups that have been, challenged by the changes around them and have stepped up extraordinarily. And a huge thank you to the New York Media Lab team, Romina, Kate, Erica, Anna, and our 30 members of the 2020 cohort mentor team. Really couldn't have done it without all of you. And I just wanted to say one thing, what you're seeing in this last hour and 20 minutes or so is the result of 12 and a half, 13 weeks of really hard work. But it is And the challenge of being in this program is that you get feedback from all kinds of people. And as a startup founder, you need to listen, you need to absorb it, and then some of it you accept, some of it you modify, some of it you adjust. But they've done it extraordinarily. And with that, I thought I would ask Romina just one question before we wrap today, and then we'll talk about how to give feedback. Watching these 7 teams hard at work over the last 12 weeks, is there one thing that you think, one piece of advice that you would give the cohort, Romina?
Absolutely. So first, I applaud the teams for starting new ventures. Innovation is critical now more than ever, but for the cohort, today is just the beginning of the end. I mean, keep experimenting and validating your hypotheses and iterating based on what the market's telling you. You know, you're going to do great things. What I've seen over the last 12 weeks has been vastly, vastly impressive. And if you continue to work that hard, you're going to be very successful. So congratulations.
So we would have had a bottle of champagne, but since we're all virtual, instead we have a virtual bottle of champagne, and we're raising a glass here. I'll raise a coffee mug. To our teams, congratulations on all your hard work. And with that, for our audience members, now's the part where you get to participate. So we've sent you all a link and to our feedback form. It's not hard, it's not that much work, but it is important. And here's the link on the screen. bit.ly.com Combine 2020 is the feedback form. By the way, bit.ly is case sensitive, so all small letters is important. We're really going to only ask you 3 things. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate each one of the startups. Secondly, thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think they're ready to be out in the world? And then finally, last but not least, do you have comments, partner suggestions, ideas, feedback, or are you ready to be a startup investor? Are you ready to be a mentor? But at the end of the day, you know, we have hundreds of you watching. We'd love to see each and every one of you take 5 minutes to respond and fill out the form. It's critically important that they get the feedback. And with that, a huge thank you to everyone who participated today. And by the way, feedback about us, if you think we can do a better job, if you'd like to see, you know, we probably will be back in the theater again next year for our demo day, but we're going to be doing more virtual things in the weeks and months ahead. So please go to thecombine.nyc or go to our website, which is nycmedialab.org, and take a look at all of the events we have coming up. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.